So filmmaker, writer, artist, activist, entrepreneur. Am I missing anything?
That's funny. I mean, I didn't mean to have all those kind of job titles. They just kind of started adding up over time. But I think part of it is just that, society kind of demands you to be one thing, like, basketball player, shut up and dribble. And it's like, we're just human beings. We just express our kind of gift and have where they are. And so for me, oh, just being a filmmaker wasn't enough. I had to start writing essays. Just doing that, I was like, oh, well, I'm actually a creative person. So I think of it all as one thing, as this act of kind of participating in the culture and having things to say about it. But yeah, when you start drawing the lines between them, then it starts sounding like it's a lot, but it's really just one thing.
You define Blerd, like Black nerd. How would you define that for you?
I mean, I just think that Black people are just as varied as anybody else, and so the fact that there might be a Black nerd is surprising to some people when it shouldn't be. And
Mm,
like I think we have a right to be nerds, just like we have a right to be whatever people think we are in society. And so that's just something that I think we all live with. If you're into something that people think is nerdy, like for me, I'm like way into, say, web design and JavaScript and coding and stuff like that, which is, people might think of as nerdy, but it's just like I'm a person who likes the web and wants to know how it works. And so I just think nerddom, as expressed within Black folks, is just something we have a right to, like anything else we have a right to do.
right.
Initial kind of Black nerd essay that I wrote, I mean, that was my inspiration, was just seeing these young guys. I mean, I was at a McDonald's at like 1 or 2 in the morning or something like that, and Halo was coming out, and these guys were just so excited, and it was like, that was it. You know what I mean? It was just like a pure, unadulterated form of culture, and this happened to be Black culture, and this happened to be nerd culture, and you would think that being a nerd or really into gaming, it's like, of course it includes Black people, but for some people it was so like exciting, I guess, to see it written about as this kind of piece within Black culture. But
And go back to your project. Unarmed was one that I found to be fascinating. And I think as of right now, you're in the Leon Gallery. Is that correct?
we just wrapped the show in the Leon Gallery,
Oh,
but
okay.
that was the most recent kind of big piece. That was in Denver, and Unarmed started for me in 2013. Trayvon Martin had been killed, and there was in 2012, and there was the court case in 2013 where his killer was set free, and they said this guy didn't do anything wrong. And I just said, how could that be? How could this boy get killed for no other reason than the fact that he was wearing a hoodie, and a court of law said that there was no crime committed.
Mm,
And so my thought process was just that, if he was on a sports team, would people then care about Trayvon Martin? And so I designed this kind of basketball jersey with the team name Unarmed. The number represents his age. So in the case of the Trayvon Martin jersey, it's number 17. And later I came up with this idea that I put stars on the jersey to symbolize the number of bullets that were used in the killing.
wow.
And so over time, incrementally, I just continued the project. Eric Garner was the next year, Sandra Bland, Mike Brown was also that next year. I think Sandra Bland was 2 years later, but Mike Brown, Eric Garner, so the Mike Brown jersey, number 18, St. Louis Cardinals colors, 6 stars. Brown and Taylor jersey, number 26, Louisville, University of Louisville colors, 8 stars. So I just kind of continued designing these pieces and putting them out on social media to commemorate these victims, but also to protest the circumstances, which are obviously racist, obviously unjust to other people.
Mm. So, can you explain what the color machine is? It looks like some sort of artistic collective from what I gathered from the website.
I mean, the color machine is basically like my company, like what basically a production company. We make videos for
Okay.
clients. Is the the base level of it, but from the name and idea, I want it to feel kind of more like what you're saying, like a place where creative things happen, a manufacturer of cool visual ideas. And so I founded that company in 2013. Around the same time I started working on Unarmed.
Mm,
Totally unrelated. It was just I at the time had two business partners, and we were kind of making work individually for clients, and we thought, why don't we do that together? But it turned into basically a business and a way for me to, I've worked in and around film and advertising for almost 2 decades, so it just became kind of my primary workplace.
a part of so many projects, man. Um, Laundry
Thank you.
list of them. Some really good works as well. 72 hour Brooklyn Love Story. I actually just bought it on my PlayStation, and
Oh, great. I can't wait
so
to, yeah, yeah.
I'm not quite done with it, so I'm ill prepared for this interview. But where are your socials where people can find your art, find you?
Yeah, I'm on most social media platforms. I'm on Raafi Rivero is my handle, my first name, Raafi Rivero, River with an O. But also Unarmed is I'm putting so much attention to that now. So
Okay,
Unarmed Co on Instagram is the best place to follow the project. And
great.
between my Twitter and IG and Unarmed Co on IG, those are the main places I am these days.
All right. I do appreciate you for coming on, man.